welcome back to my channel. My name is Marie, and today's video is kind of an unusual one. I am downstairs in the dining room because where I normally film, I had to break down all my equipment and put it away. I mentioned in the last video that we were going to be putting in wood floors, and over the weekend I did take everything apart and made it so my husband could easily move what was left out of the room, and everything, like all my lights and stuff, I think if they weigh 5 pounds, that's a lot. They're pretty lightweight and they're easy to move around and stuff. So that was like my small attempt to help because I can't really do a whole lot of other stuff for him right now. He already ripped up the carpet. There's nothing in there, and I don't want to pull all my equipment again because you can't see the floor in the video anyway, but I'll leave the room empty, let him do his thing, not interfere. So the lighting is not that great down here. Like, yeah, I have a shadow, which I normally don't have, and I don't like that. But I just have like one ring light just to not be dark and creepy looking. So anyways, on to the baby stuff. So I am 19 weeks and 6 days. So tomorrow I'm going to be 20 weeks. I'll be halfway there. And I had an ultrasound yesterday with the specialist, and she's like, your baby's the right size and weight. It's 12 ounces. It's the right length for how many weeks I am. And when the tech was doing the ultrasound, I mentioned that I had only felt the baby kick once, and that was Sunday night. And it was like this little tiny kind of like little bump, and I was like, that was a baby kick. And I was like laying in bed trying to sleep, and I was like, that was a kick. And then I kind of rubbed my stomach hoping that maybe the baby would kick more, and I didn't feel it again. But she was like, oh, you have an anterior placenta. I will put a link below because what I'm gonna say is not gonna explain it well, but it's, instead of being like lower towards my back, the placenta's in the front more. And she's like, so you won't feel the baby kicking as much as like other women who don't have that. And I feel like that's probably why I didn't have morning sickness like I did the first time I was pregnant, because it was so bad the first time. And I felt nauseous sometimes, but I didn't actually throw up because of it. And I was just mostly just tired. She was like, that's probably why you don't feel the baby kicking as much as other women would, but it's still like, the baby's still kind of small. So it's not like when you're at like 8 weeks, or I'm sorry, 8 months, and you see the foot, like, you know, there's pictures of people where that you can see the footprint of the baby in the stomach. It's, you know, it's still pretty early. And then I mentioned my husband, he was like, what? He's like, why didn't you tell me? Monday morning it was actually Monday night when I told him. I was like, well, you know, it happened at night and you were sleeping, and then in the morning he was working and I was doing something and I kind of had forgotten, and then it was at dinner when we were talking, I was like, oh yeah, I felt the baby. So he's just like, he rubbed my stomach, he's like, I want to feel it. I'm like, you won't be able to feel it yet because it was just such a tiny little bump. And then while she was actually doing the ultrasound, she was on the right side, I could feel it on the left side, and I could feel the baby kick a little bit, a couple times, and I was like, oh, I can feel that. So, you know, and then yesterday I felt it a couple times again. It's not a lot, but every once in a while I'm like, oh, the baby's kicking. So I'm getting excited now. It's getting bigger, and like, I haven't really gained any weight yet either, but my body is changing. Like, my stomach is starting to get more round and stick out, and my cat is still over here. So after the tech did the scan, then the doctor came back and she did another scan, and I don't understand why they have me get up and dress and then the doctor comes in and does the ultrasound again. It's like, why? Because, you know, you wipe all the goo off and you put your clothes on, and then they're like, well, she wants to see you. It's like, I should just lay here until she's ready. It's kind of annoying, you know, it's their process, whatever. I'm not complaining, I'm just like, why? But she was like, you know, the baby's the right size and everything, and the cerclage looks good, and I'm gonna have that removed. I think she said 36 weeks. So that way I can have a natural birth and they don't have to do a cesarean. Hopefully the likelihood of that is like lower if they remove it at 36 weeks, which I'm looking forward to. I don't want to have a cesarean if possible. She's like, do you have questions? I'm like, no, as long as the baby's good, I'm good. And, you know, whenever they tell me something, I do go home and Google it and research, you know, and read up about it. So I really don't always have questions. And then today I got a call from the gestational diabetes outreach program, And I kind of feel like I have the dietitian and then the gestational woman calls, and it's like I have both of these people calling me. It's like every other week, and sometimes one will call right after the other on the same day, and it just kind of feels a little redundant. It's like one of you guys should be calling me, not both of you guys. And my blood sugars have been really good. There's been one, like I think I mentioned this in the last video, every once in a while there's one that's over, but it's usually because I either took it too early or I ate something and you know, I shouldn't have eaten whatever it was, but it's never been so high. Like 130 has been the highest, and it's supposed to be 120. So it's 10 off, and it's typically just because like I had lemonade one day. So I just kind of feel like it's redundant to have them both. I mean, I'm really, really lucky that I have the support from both of these departments, but they're not telling me anything new, and it's just kind of like they look at my blood sugar and they're like, "You're good." I'm like, "I know." I mean, if I wasn't, then I would like, "What's going on?" And they would probably call me if they noticed it was high all the time and be like, "Oh, you need to be on medication or something." But, you know, they are anticipating that my blood sugars will be higher in the 3rd trimester because they're like, that's very typical. And so far I'm doing really well with them. And if they go up because they keep claiming that they're going to, then we'll deal with that when it happens. I mean, I'm eating as healthy as I can right now, and that's all I can do really. You know, there's not, well, that and then walking a lot. There isn't a whole lot that I'm able to do to make the gestational diabetes go away. It's just something that I have to deal with for a few more months. So that was kind of a weird phone call today and didn't last very long. This video is probably longer than the phone call. And I have another doctor's appointment on Tuesday with my regular OB. So they're gonna do another ultrasound. Other than that, I don't have like a whole lot going on. We're trying to stay home. Things are going well, so we're good. And I will have another video for you guys next week, and I probably won't post the thing that we're doing, a video about what we're doing with the flooring until maybe it's done or maybe halfway through, and be like, you know, here's the progress. And because I kind of do want to show before and after. He started ripping up the carpet before I even got a chance to get in there and get video. I was like, hey. So like the guest room, when you guys see it, there's like a big square cut out, and he put it back down so I could like pan the room real quick. It was so funny. I was like, give me a minute, because he didn't tell me he was doing it. So anyways, I will be back next week with another video, and I'll probably do a baby bump then. Hopefully it looks a little bigger, because I still kind of just look fat. Like I look pregnant-ish, and I think people realize I'm pregnant when I rub my belly, and they're like, okay, she's not just fat. But I mean, that's really just at the grocery store. That's usually where I'm at. I'm like at the grocery store and I'll like rub my stomach, but because I don't really go anywhere else. But anyways, I will see you guys next week. So have a good week. Bye.